The price of Bitcoin is currently $20,741. Looking at the current price of Bitcoin, of course, we are in, technically, a bull flag right now, especially given how it performed yesterday after the crash. We seem to have found a decent level of support there at approximately $20,600, there or thereabouts. And looking at the current price of Bitcoin, I'm not feeling bearish. In fact, in today's video, I'm going to explain exactly why I'm not feeling bearish, what I can tell you about what happened yesterday and how that affects the market going forward, and what we expect to happen at the end of this week when it comes to the price of Bitcoin, when it comes to the price of Ethereum, and of course, when it comes to the price of TAP. And TAP today, of course, has come down just a little bit, down to around 70 sats right now, but the overall market sentiment, I feel, is heading bullish. So if you haven't already, please do slap a like on today's video, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get 500 likes on every single video. We've managed it so far every day this week, so slap a like. Trying to hit 100,000 subscribers, so subscribe and let's crack on. So first things first, looking at Bitcoin's price here on the 15-minute chart, you can see we've got these bands of liquidity. Should we break above the top band right here, which is currently sitting approximately now at about $21,400. If we go all the way along there, you can see $21,400. If we break above $21,400, I would expect, again, breakout, to be honest. It's not even 21,500 at this point, being that where that liquidity band is now moved down to. At the same time, of course, we're going to struggle to break back above this level of resistance here at $20,909. So what am I expecting in terms of short-term trading action on Bitcoin? Look, if Bitcoin's price breaks through this level here at $20,900, I would expect to go all the way back up to $21,400. Should we break through $21,400, I'll be in a long position, or rather I am already in a long position, and those long positions are currently in a loss. In fact, full transparency on those trades that I've opened so far, $4 loss and $2 loss. So again, not perhaps the best timing, but I didn't know that yesterday the US Department of Justice was going to start kind of flooding the markets very briefly before issuing some good news. Now, because we got good news yesterday about regulation in the crypto space and about crackdowns on bad actors in the crypto space, I just don't feel bearish on Bitcoin right now. I don't think that there is really much of a bearish case for Bitcoin right now, other than, of course, we've got this CME gap down here at this lower level of support where you can see these bands of liquidity. Hence why I say, look, if we had to break through this lower level of support right here that is approximately sitting at $20,400, then yes, we are bearish at that point, and we'll drop down to about 19,800, where I will load up very, very, very significantly, because at the same time, I feel still very bullish on Bitcoin, even if we were to get that drop to the downside. And being the way that my positions are leveraged, my liquidation point is nowhere near anything right now. So it's absolutely fine as far as I'm concerned for me to hold on to my current open positions as it sits right now. And of course, if you are interested in trading, you'll find links and information in today's video description on how you can trade. Check out BYBIT, check out BitGet. Both of those two links are in the video description. And those are the two exchanges that I'm currently using to trade the price of Bitcoin. Now, at the same time as discussing the price of Bitcoin, we also need to check in on the price of Link, the price of TAP, and the price of Ethereum. So, first things first, let's check in on Link. Link hit this level of resistance yesterday. After the FUD came out, it dropped down, and I really do feel like this is a strong buying opportunity on Link right now. We can look at a couple of different other indicators as well that would suggest the exact same thing. Basically, you can see on the MACD, we've had a massive reset on the MACD. RSI's had a massive reset on the 4-hour. If we go over to the daily chart right now and look at the MACD, I quite like, much prefer MACD to RSI. The daily chart on the MACD is still not bearish. At the same time, do I really expect further price decline on this? It doesn't make any sense to be predicting further price decline on something that essentially, if it was to decline any further in price, would be going back to where it started, which makes no logical sense given how big Chainlink is. So again, I'm maintaining my long position on Chainlink, and I still think I'll profit big time off that. We just need the market to turn around. And I'm going to explain now why I think the market's going to turn around over the course of the next week. So essentially, when Bitcoin's price dropped down yesterday, what it did was it took out a bunch of buy orders. Because basically when the price of Bitcoin declines, you have a lot of people selling to those people that are now buying. So when you take out that buy liquidity and you get rid of that sell liquidity, what you end up with is a pretty flat market for like 1 or 2 days. The exact same thing has actually happened to TAP, whereby basically after this big price decline yesterday, we wiped out all of the buy orders, meaning that there was less buying demand, but at the same time, there is suddenly less selling demand. So between the two of those things, what you end up with is a fairly neutral market with less liquidity. That is proven by the fact that essentially only 2 Bitcoins, so $40,000 would increase the price very significantly, and all the way up here, all the way back to 81 sats, it really wouldn't take all that much Bitcoin. However, on the buy side seems to have recovered significantly, with there being a lot bigger buy orders right now than there are sell orders. So on tap right now, I feel very bullish, given that there are a lot of people that didn't manage to buy the dip yesterday, and I feel like we're seeing the exact same thing on Bitcoin's price, whereby when you take out a bunch of buy orders, you then refill those buy orders by stacking them back into the order book, and at the same time, there is suddenly less sell demand, because everybody that wanted to sell or wanted to short probably did it yesterday in that short time period of that FUD happening. So from my perspective, given that a lot of the people that wanted to exit the market have now exited the market, and at the same time you still have a lot of people wanting to enter the market because it didn't go as what they were expecting. Everyone was expecting the drop down yesterday, and I said, look, this is a fake out, it's not going to happen. We didn't fake, we did fake out, we didn't drop down, and I was right about that. It was the correct decision to not sell my positions yesterday, because otherwise I'd have been selling them for more of a loss than what I would do today, and I still think I'll ultimately profit off the back of those positions. So when you wipe out all of this volume essentially, and you create these massive volume candles, you also create opportunity, because all of these people that bought in this zone right here, and the same applies to Bitcoin. If you look at Bitcoin's price, everybody that bought in this zone right here is sitting pretty right now. At the same time, there is less market buying pressure, being that market buying pressure got taken out at these lower levels right here. So you've got people with new Bitcoin stacks that expect the price to rise because people bought in this range. Don't forget, when somebody sells, somebody is also buying at the same time. So although you have this is basically negativity leaving the market. At the same time, what we also have right now is some quite significant, if I go over to BYBIT on this other screen right here, we see some quite significant funding rate changes. So essentially on BYBIT, currently the funding rate is almost negative. And when we generally start seeing almost negative funding rates, it means that, of course, there are more short positions opening than long positions. But at the same time, if Bitcoin's price is to keep going up, why are there more short positions opening than long positions right now? Is it because people are generally bearish on the market? Or is it because they're trapped in short positions and they're trying to average up their short positions so that when Bitcoin's price comes back down, they're not in a loss anymore? I favor the secondary scenario, whereby you've got people that are trapped in short positions at 16K, 17K, and 18K that are now dollar cost averaging in at 20K or 21K, hoping that the price of Bitcoin is going to decline. And I feel like the bear theory is based more around hopium than it is around common sense. I feel like the common sense theory right now is that actually Bitcoin probably will find support at these levels. Even if it drops down to close the CME gap at $19,800, which I still feel it's more likely to close the gap at 28K before the 19.8K gap, I just think the market looks certainly more bullish than it does bearish right now. So that would be my case for Bitcoin. Again, watch out for these lower levels of support. If we lose those, again, we'll drop down to about 19,800 on the chart, which is here. Should we lose 19,800, which is only a small band of liquidity, we'll drop down to about $19,000, which is this lower level of support down here. If we drop to $19,000, I will reassess and point out whether we're bullish or bearish at the same time. So make sure you are, of course, liking the video and subscribing to the channel. But when it comes to the current price of Ethereum, how is Ethereum getting on? Well, let's look at Ethereum's long-term chart first of all. Ethereum broke its long-term downtrend. So, of course, the trend has now changed. It's important to recognize that. You have a lot of bears putting their heads in the sand and saying, oh, no, we're still bearish. This is bear market. Look, price is down. No. Price went up. The price went up recently. The price has been going down for a very long time. Price hit level of resistance, and when it hit that level of resistance, we got rejected. Of course, you're going to get rejected from that level of resistance. It happens every single time that we hit, when you start breaking to the upside. At the same time, look what would happen in the previous market if you were to short every single time we started breaking out of the bear trend. So if we look at the previous market right here, you can see that every single time the price was to kind of break to the upside and get rejected. I'm trying to find a good example of that right here. Yeah, here's a good example whereby we got rejected at these levels, dropped all the way back down, and then rallied straight back to the upside. We are probably towards the back end of the bear market right now. If not, the bear market is probably already ended. And when looking at the price of Ethereum, there's a few key levels that you need to watch. First of all, it would be, look, if we're breaking below the level of about $15,000, which would be approximately here on the chart, we break through $15,000, we come down and we retest the outside level of this support theta right here, essentially about $1,450 on the chart. So if you come back down to that level, I'll be going long. Why would I be going long at that level? Because essentially when you break to the downside and you make these retests are bullish, and typically you need a retest in order for a continuation of the pattern. Hence why I'm not writing off the downside, but I'll certainly be loading up if we do drop to the downside because my bullish theory doesn't change. I believe that market sentiment has changed now, and so therefore the market should continue to head to the upside, or at least that's the theory. Slap a like and subscribe. Now, we've discussed Ethereum, but what about the upside case for Ethereum? Ethereum on the upside needs to break through approximately $1,610 in order to confirm a break to the upside. For me right now, I am buying Ethereum, I'm buying Chainlink, I'm buying TAP, I'm buying Bitcoin. Why am I buying all of these different assets? Well, because I'm not bearish, and I think the prices are probably going to more likely rise than they are, of course, fall. So yeah, overall, I think the market right now does look very positive. It's just we have this short-term bearish sentiment, but tomorrow will be very, very, very telling. Because tomorrow, if we start breaking to the upside, about 6 p.m. tomorrow, I expect some very good price action over the course of the weekend, and then probably a dump on the Sunday. But essentially, we're heading towards a very big move on the price of Bitcoin. Whether that be up or down, we don't know. We can only play the breakouts. We can have our own sentiment opinion, but we can never know exactly what's going to happen. Hence why I trade it and I use stop losses. So again, make sure you, of course, if you are trading, make sure you're using a stop loss. But overall, market sentiment looks pretty decent. When you wipe out a bunch of buy orders, it creates less liquidity in the market. When you have less liquidity in the market, there is, of course, less buying volume and less selling volume. And that period of time lasts for a short period until somebody re-ups and then controls essentially the market direction. My opinion right now is the market direction is going to head to the upside, and people will treat this as a buying opportunity. And so I'm treating it as a buying opportunity as well. So on that note, guys, please do slap a like on today's video. Check out the links and information in today's video description. If you don't have any Bitcoin yet, please do check out the TAP application. You'll find that link in today's video description. And if you want a cryptocurrency debit card, again, check the TAP app out. So have a fantastic day, everyone. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.